Hello viewers, in this video I'm going to talk about the subject, verb and object. We also call it SVO structure. SVO. So what do we mean by SVO? S means subject. V means verb. And O means object. Now you will understand one by one that what subject is, what verb is, and what object is. Because these three things are very important for writing sentences. The object is optional, but the subject and verb, they are linked with one another. Whenever we make sentences, so there must be a subject and there must be a verb. So let's start it. The first one is subject. What is subject? So there are various definitions. When you open a book, so you will find a definition there, and if you open another book, so there will be another definition, but the concept will be the same. And same is the case with internet. There are many websites which are connected to the grammar. You will see the materials related to grammar, so there will be different definitions, but the concept is the same. So the first one is, we say that subject is the doer of an action. Let's see, for example, Ahmed reads a book. Ahmed reads a book. In this sentence, you see that Ahmed is the subject because he is the doer of the action. He is reading the book. So reads is the verb and Ahmed is the subject because Ahmed is the performer of this action. Along with that, it is not necessary that in each and every sentence there will be a verb like dynamic verb, like there will be some sort of activity. Maybe there will be a state. Suppose I say that Ahmad is a boy. So in this sentence we don't have any action. So it does not mean that there is no subject in this sentence. So now we will come towards the second definition of subject. Subject can be a person, subject can be a place, subject can be a thing, subject can be an idea, various things can be there. So let's see, for example, one by one. The first one is that subject can be a person. So I'm giving you the example of person. So this is the example of person. Ahmad, this is subject in this sentence because the rest of the part of the sentence is about Ahmad. So subject, we say that the part of the sentence about which we make a sentence is called the subject. So in this sentence you see that is a boy is all about Ahmad. So that's why Ahmad is the subject in this sentence and Ahmad is a person. Let me give you another one about place. For example, I say that Islamabad is a city. So in this sentence you see that Islamabad is the subject because the rest of the part is about Islamabad. In this sentence there is no action. So this part is you see that this part gives us more information about subject. So that is why in this sentence Islamabad is the subject and Islamabad is a place. Let's come to the another one, thing. Suppose book is a silent friend. In this sentence you see that is a silent friend. It's all about the word book. So in this sentence, book is the subject because the rest of the part is about this one, this thing, this book. And book is a thing. Let's proceed. Example about the fourth one is idea. So subject can be an idea. For example, beauty is liked by everyone. So in this sentence you see that the rest of the part is about beauty. So in this sentence, beauty is the subject and subject is the idea. I hope you got this example. The fifth one, subject can be an animal. For example, dog is a faithful animal. So you see, as a faithful animal, it is about dog. So in this sentence, dog is the subject and dog is an animal. So this is all about subject. I hope you got the idea of subject. Let's proceed and come towards the verb. So verb is a word which shows us an activity. The first point, it shows an activity. So we can define verb in different ways. We are having different definitions. For example, we say that every action is called verb, or a word which expresses an activity is called verb. For example, I speak English. So in this sentence you see that speak is the verb because this is the activity, this is the action. So in this sentence you see that speak is the verb because this action is performed by this subject, I. So in this sentence I is the subject and speak is the verb. Let's see another example. He plays cricket. So in this sentence you see that he is the subject and plays is the verb because it describes an activity. So verb is a word which expresses an activity. Now let's come to another point. The second point is that verb is a word which shows us state of the subject. It means that in each and every sentence the action is not mandatory. Sometimes there will be state. Okay, so let's see how. For example, I say, he is happy. In this sentence, there is no action. So it does not mean there is no verb. The second point in the verb is that it will describe a state. So in this sentence, it is a verb. Why? Because it describes the state of the subject. That in which state the subject is. He is happy. Another example. She is a teacher. She is a teacher. So you see, in this sentence, it is a verb because it describes the state of the subject. Another example. John was ill. John was ill. So in this sentence, was is the verb because it describes the state of the subject. So this was the second point. I hope you got it. Let's come to the third point. The third point is that verb is a word which describes possession. Possession, or we say ownership. When we possess something, when we own something. So let's see. I have a car. So you see, which word is describing position of the subject? Definitely it is have. Have is the verb in this sentence. Why? Because it describes that the subject possesses something. Another example. He has a beautiful car. He has a beautiful car. In this sentence, has is the verb because it describes that the subject possesses something. So that is why has is verb. Another example. I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money. In this sentence, had is the verb because it describes that the subject possessed something in the past. So in this sentence, I is the subject and had is the verb because it described that the subject possessed something in the past. So this was all about verb. I hope you got it. Let's come to the object. So object is the receiver of an action. For example, I say, I broke the glass. In this sentence, I is the subject, broke is the verb, which is the second form of break, and the glass is the object. Why we call it object? Because it is the receiver of the action. Or rather, you can say that it is the receiver of the effect of the verb performed by the subject. So it is the receiver of the effect of the action performed by the subject. So the glass is the object in this sentence because the action was performed by this glass. And whenever the subject does something, so there changes will occur in the object. Suppose that the glass was first in a good condition, and after the action being performed on that glass, it got broken. Okay? So that is the object. Another example. We ate the apples. So in this sentence, we is the subject, ate is the verb, and the apples, it is the object. Because the action is performed on the apples. Let's have another example. Ali beats his brother. So, Ali is the subject, beats is the verb, and his brother is the object. So, I'm going to tell you now that what object can be. Let's start. Now let's categorize the object. So, object can be a person and place, thing, idea, or an animal. For example, I beat him. So in this sentence, I is the subject, beat is the verb, and him is the object. And him is used for masculine gender. So it is a person. The second one is place. How an object can be a place. For example, they destroyed the house. They destroyed the house. So they is the subject, destroyed is the verb, and the house is the object. And here the object is a place. Let's come to the example of thing. That how a thing can be an object. She broke the window. So in this sentence, she is the subject, broke is the verb, and the window is the object. And here you see that the window is a thing. Let's come to the idea of animal and idea. You killed a snake. So in this sentence you see that you is the subject, killed is the verb, and a snake is the object. And here you see that the object is an animal, snake. Last but not the least is idea. I like education. So you see here, I is the subject, like is the verb, and education is the object. And education is an abstract noun. Let's write another example. We want freedom. So in this sentence, we is the subject, want is the verb, and freedom is the object. Because, so here freedom is object and it is an abstract noun. So this was all about the subject, verb, and object. I hope you got it. Thank you so much for watching this video.